Hello and welcome to the Matthew Alton Art channel again. This video is detailing me doing a practice sketch portraiture again. I bought a Moleskin little sketchbook in the Black Friday sales a couple of months ago, and I did one portrait in it and I'm just doing another one now. And usually I have the reference that I'm using on the left and the finished article that I'm heading towards on the right. And you can see me actually beavering away using a mechanical pencil on the paper of the Moleskin sketchbook in the middle. The reason I don't normally put the reference photo on my videos, I think this is the first one I've done it on, is because I think often people judge the piece of artwork whether it's identical to the photograph or not, rather than judging whether it's a nice piece of art with interesting sort of atmosphere, that sort of thing. But I thought I would put the reference on here just so that people can see that the finished article doesn't look identical to the reference, but it's still a characterful portrait, and I think that's important. I think when you do think that you have to create something that looks like the photograph, it puts extra pressure on you, and often it puts you off from even starting drawing if you think that you're struggling, especially when you're a beginner and your finished works don't look identical to the reference. So I've sort of put it on here for that very reason, so that people can see that it's not identical, but there's certainly the character of the original reference in the finished portrait. I got the reference from a Raw Umber Studios reference library. It was advertised to me as a competition, so you could use one of their references in the library, one of the free references, and submit the finished work to the online competition, which I think the results are announced on the 17th of January or whatever. So I did submit this drawing to the competition. I know there's no hope of me ever winning a competition like that, but I used the reference, so I thought I may as well submit it, and it's in the sketchbook. It's not going to be sold, this drawing, or anything. So I thought I'd have a go, basically. Why not? It was free to enter, so I'm not losing anything by entering. You can see that I started by drawing the head shape out, the top of the head here, and then I moved to the eyes and started drawing the eyes and then the nose. I have said before in my drawings that once you've got something on as a reference, so one eye in this case, I then hang everything off that one eye in terms of distance to the next eye, angles to the corners of the nose, for instance, those sorts of things. So I'm constantly doing cross-referencing as to where everything is in relation to everything else, distance-wise, but also angle-wise. And if you do that as you progress, you tend to triangulate the drawing into existence, and it tends to be fairly accurate. So I don't need to measure too much these days. I think overall the ability that I'm showing when doing portraits, the reason I'm doing these portraits is to practice it, because I've never been very good at likeness, and I'm practicing, certainly this last year, at doing portraits, and I'm getting better and better, I think, really, and I'm getting more subtle and better at reproducing what's in front of me, sort of thing. And I do think that practice definitely makes perfect. So you can see I've already got sort of the main features in place. It's quite difficult, this photograph, because of the white beard, and you need to sort of indicate that and leave space for it, really. And I'm sort of indicating it by very loose brush marks. I think in the final drawing it does look like a fluffy beard. I think I've succeeded on that, really. But you sort of have to leave the white space to put the beard in afterwards. It's a bit like painting with watercolour, I suppose, to a certain extent. And I'm indicating the whiskers of the beard just by putting different varying pressures of graphite onto the page, really. Going under the moustache there's obviously going to be a shadow under the moustache, so I'm trying to indicate that. The mouth is slightly wrong in the finished piece, but you know, I'm not too fussy. I think it's a really good drawing, to be fair, compared to some that I've done. I'll perhaps do a video at some point during 2025 that compares the sorts of portraits that I was doing in 2023, middle of 2023 when I started doing these, and what I'm doing now. And I'm hoping that people will see, and myself will see, an improvement on where I've got to with all the practice that I've been doing recently. I'm not too far off finishing now. So you can see there I'm leaving space for the beard, the white space. But of course it's not a white beard, and you've sort of got to indicate the three-dimensionality of it as well. So on the bottom right-hand side of the beard it's going to be darker, so I'm trying to indicate that. But overall it took about an hour to complete this. I like the textured paper. It's really watercolour paper in this Moleskin sketchbook, but I sort of quite like the effect with the 5B, I think it is, pencil lead that I'm using here. It gives quite a nice texture to the portrait. I've done 2 portraits in this little sketchbook so far, and they're fantastic. I have to say so myself. It's looking like a professional artist sketchbook almost. No clangers yet. Well, I think that's pretty much coming towards the end now. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, then give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you on the next one.